Hey, welcome back, guys. We are back with another great episode of the YouTube sensation, the show you guys are all falling in love with, the show that we have already fallen in love with, Fig Life. And I am Richie, the real deal heel Reardon, and I am joined tonight with my buddy, my partner in crime, Mr. John Wangland. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, Richie. It's a cold night out here in New York, man. Enjoying the evening. We just taped a great episode of Wrestling with Reality, and excited to tape our great show tomorrow night for Wrestling Anonymous about Chris Benoit. And even more excited to do some Fig Life here. It's been a couple nights since we've been able to knock out a new episode and do it. So always a blast, my friend. I'm glad to be here. We got some great stuff in store tonight, man. You picked up something really nice this week that came in here, and I think it's a good segue to get right into everything right here because this is a beaut that you found here, man, and you got a great deal on it. Something I know you've been looking for. So we're going to start it off. We're going to go a little retro right from the beginning. We're going to go back in time on a couple of things. What did you pick up? What's your retro find of the week, man?
Yeah, so my retro find is we're definitely going back in time here with the Hasbro series. Those of you that have been watching the show, you saw that I got the Hasbro yellow card Shawn Michaels, a very rare figure in its own right, and I'm getting really into the Hasbros lately. You guys saw the for sale by owner, the Doink the Clown purple card that we have on rcpodnetwork.com, and I'm gonna continue to collect these figures because they don't really have sentimental value because I never owned them as a kid, but
Mm-hmm.
damn, man, I love the way they look and just the whole retro feel. It really brings back the nostalgia of the WWF era for me. So with that being said, I got a great figure and a great addition to the collection this week for a great price there, and it is the one, the only Elegante Giant
Ooh,
Gonzalez.
that's a nice one right there, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
Blast from
this
the
is
past.
Yeah, absolutely. You ain't lying about that. It's an American version, on card, mint on card here, and it is in great shape. There's a little bend to the cardboard there, but nothing too serious. If you get a good look at it, other than that, there's no creases at all whatsoever. This thing is pretty much in mint shape there. You know, this is a pretty good figure, and they nailed his face down great. If you look at the picture on the card
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a good look at that head scan,
Yep.
for the time period, they were just sculpting these things off of prototypes and stuff. There was no real time scan or any of that stuff, so they did a good job. I really feel that way, and his attire and everything was pretty iconic for that time. This is what he's known for, man. When he went against the Undertaker here, and I never really got into Giant Gonzalez until I met you, man. But since
Mm-hmm.
since I met you, you've kind of turned me into a mark a little bit for him. I kind of like him now that I get into the stuff, and his figures are very few and far between. You can find them in the Classic Superstar series as well, but and the Galoob series too, I believe. You may have
Mm-hmm.
a few New Japan figures, but the Hasbro one is definitely my favorite for nostalgia reasons. If you look on the back here, they got a trading card. It says he weighed 460 pounds. He was from the Andes Mountains and from South America. The I believe the series that he was in, if I'm not mistaken, was the one with Akeem, Andre the Giant, Bam Bam Bigelow, Berserker, Big Boss Man, Bret the Hitman Hart, British Bulldog, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So it's a pretty solid series there. Great find here, great price. Not gonna share that, but definitely picked it up for a heck of a deal. And the seller was a great guy as well. Great experience. Just a good figure and an essential for your Hasbro collection.
Yeah, it's a beaut, man. It really is nice. I'm on a bid right now for one too, so I'm hoping I can nail that down because they can get pretty pricey there. He's a very interesting character that people don't know about. He had his match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 9. He had a very short-lived run over there for a couple years. Was really bad heel and all that stuff. He was a big-time face actually, and over in WCW as Elegante for many many years, and was a fixture over there. Couldn't wrestle to save his life there, man. He was terrible, but
Just
interesting
a
gimmick
polarizing
nonetheless.
figure though.
Very much so. And everybody says about him who knew him that he's probably one of the nicest guys ever and was a complete gentleman. Unfortunately, passed away some years back. Um, but that's a beaut, man. That's a good one. I'm glad you got that one. I got an
Absolutely.
old one here for you too for retro tonight, man. So I remember picking this up a long time ago, and I would say a long time ago. I probably picked this up about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's in pretty good shape on the box and everything. And it was made by Jack Specific here, and everybody knows how much we always put Jack stuff over. And for this one being as old as it is right here, because this is, I believe, from the late to mid 90s, actually, right around there. And they don't have a lot of stuff out there for the WWF Slammer series here, but I picked this up. It was a great one. It's the bone crunching action one that they do for everybody. And people probably know by now I'm a huge mark for Bret Hart. And I saw this online and I got it for a steal. And it's the WWF Slammers.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, a Bret Hart there, and I have
God,
more.
that's mint on card there.
It is until you look at the back here. You know, the back you can kind of see it. It's a little bit worn here.
Yeah.
Every, yeah, it's a little worn in the back there and on the front, but it's in really good shape for everything as a whole on it. And it's a great design here for Bret Hart. For anybody, I'll put it up here, of course, as I always do for the videos, so you guys can see what it looks like. It's a very realistic figure for him, especially for this time frame, because this was probably in the mid nine. Excuse me. This one was 1998. I'm looking on it right now, is when it was done,
That's
and
Series 1, correct? Is that what that says there on the
that
front?
is a
I believe
series
it says it
one.
right there on
Correct.
the, yep.
Yep, right
And
in the
it's
bottom.
the first bone crunching action series, I believe, as well, the Slammers was.
Yeah, it is series one for sure. This series had in it some really good characters. It had Farouk, it had Goldust, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Mankind. I think there's actually two versions of Mankind in it, actually, too. It's
Nice.
also got Stone Cold Steve Austin and like this, like they had like this like line called Stomp, and it was
Yeah,
like
I
a
have that. I have a signed version of that Stomp Stone Cold Steve Austin. They came with guns and shit.
yeah, I've never seen that before in my life. It's fucking crazy. They got Shamrock in that crazy army type lookup thing. Pillman, Taker, Ahmed Johnson, and
Crush.
Crush. Yep, it's
Yep.
really cool, man. I never have seen that before. I saw this on the back of the box, and they also had Hunter Hearst Helmsley in the regular line of it for the signature series. I have the two Road Warriors signature series of this that I've shown on the show before. Gold Dust as well. Stone Cold and Mankind in the signature series too. The Slammers was a beautiful series that they did though, man, and I thought it was really cool. And when I snatched it up there, I just had to do it. His facial scan on this one and the stuff, that they got with his glasses and his look as a whole. And you'll see the close-ups on the picture that I'll put up next to this here. I'm just holding up my copy of it for everybody. His facial scan was tremendous. It was spot on for him. It really was. For 98, it was well above its time frame on what it could be. So that's my retro find for this week, Mr. Ritchie.
Nice, man. That's great. I love those figures. The bone crunching action and just that era of wrestling was just a great time period for everybody there. And Bret Hart was on top of his game. And they, like I said about the Hasbros, they didn't have scan technology or any of that stuff. So the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they pulled these things off, I mean, let's be honest, those head scans and stuff wouldn't stand up to the Mattel Elites or the
Yeah.
classic superstars or anything. But for their time, man, they were great to play with and they were fun and very nostalgic for today's age. They're not really valuable in any part of the word or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just because people collected them and kept them in their boxes and stuff. And
Yep.
and when that happens, the collector's market goes down for
Yep.
value wise, but still nonetheless very fun to collect. So
Absolutely, man. I love some of the older ones too, as well. I mean, I love the newer ones. They're way better looking than the older ones, but you're kind of getting me into looking more for some of the older stuff a lot. With I know you're trying to build your Hasbro collection up. Definitely down the road, it's something I'm getting more interested into because you kind of got me hooked on that as well. So I'm like, man, some nice stuff. I like the old series. I like to see where it goes back to. So it's pretty cool stuff with it, and it's always nice to take a walk back down memory lane. Well, we're going to do something for the first time on the show to close it out tonight. And, well, it's not going to close it out here, but I'll say this is the first time we're going to do for our closing segment for figures that we're going to show tonight. That'll close it out for it. But you're actually going to do an unboxing right now of something.
yeah, it's a Series 3 Mr. Perfect, and unfortunately, we like to keep our stuff pretty meticulous and in great shape, and this was just one of the rare finds that we found that wasn't in the best shape, but because of what it is, we had to buy it for strictly for the show to do an unboxing. I've recently, if you see behind me, I got a Detolf
Yep.
recently, and that's going to be for all the loose figures. My inspiration for that was, of course, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Zack Ryder and Hawkins, they have those, and they turned me on to it. If you guys want to get a Detolf, you can always go over there to IKEA. They're very reasonable in price. I think they're about $60, and they're a great way to display your figures loose. That being said, we're going to get right into it. This is the figure here, Mr. Perfect.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, you look at the iconic image. John
Oh
actually sent me this in the mail. And man, I tell you what, when I got it, I was so sad the shape that it was in. It's almost criminal because this thing's so rare.
yeah.
Um, but if you look that belt there, they did a great job on the detail. I think they nailed Mr. Perfect, probably the best he's ever been
I
on
agree.
on any of the figure platforms there. Of course, you got his iconic towel that he would throw behind him, in a great stance that he has there. You flip it over, you got the iconic Mr. Perfect standing there, a description of the stuff going on in his career at the time. And along in this series was, of course, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, British Bulldog Davy Boy Smith, Mr. Perfect, Vader, The Rock, and the loose cannon Brian Pillman.
Ooh,
So
that
let's go
Pillman
ahead
one's a
and,
nice one. I know you
yeah,
pointed it out
absolutely.
there. It's a nice one.
It really, I would say that's the best Brian Pillman. You weren't too happy with the head scan, right?
Yeah, the head scan wasn't the best for me. Everything else was really really good, man.
Well, without further ado, man, I'm gonna crack right into it. Let this thing breathe.
There you go. That's
Oh, it's so
painted me.
terrible.
I know.
It's so terrible.
If I didn't get such a good deal on it, I would have never have. Man, it's hard
Yeah, it really is.
because it's such like you said. It's one you don't see much. I
That's
mean,
right.
I can't complain because the when I found it, I got it for an amazing deal. I'll just say that. Literally, it was an amazing deal. So,
There it is. It's nice and open. We're gonna pop the belt out and the accessories. There you go with the belt. It's kind of cool there. They
that's a
did a
nice
great
one.
job. Yeah, you look on the back, it's got those tabs and stuff, and I like these ones a lot better than the ones that you would put through the loop there. I think they stay on a little bit less, but they just look a lot better to me. Got the figure here. Trying to do this on camera, it's kind of hard, but do it the best I can. God, they made this in here. Probably break the figure on its way out. They got these rubber things that kind of set the figure in there.
The child-proof ones, and we all know we're both big children, so that's why.
Yeah, I mean, damn, they did so good a job. I can't get it out of here. Holy shit. Probably gonna have to speed this thing up, maybe edit it.
I am gonna get cut off here in a second.
Are you?
Yeah, just so you know.
Oh crap. Now I'm really on stretch for time. There we go.
I'll log right back on once it restarts.
Cool. Once we get
Okay.
these damn rubber bands out, they get caught in the feet here. Good grief. There we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
For the perfect man, the perfect man himself, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go, man.
Love it.
You got the iconic figure there. You got the towel sticking in his hand, real good. Really good detail on the boots. If you can kind of see, they got
Yeah.
Mr. P there. Fucking great
Mm.
job, man. The iconic head scan here with his gold locks of hair, and of course you got the singlet that it was so iconic and well known for Mr. Perfect. So just a great figure. Legend series knocking it out of the park again. Then you could, set the belt up any which way in your detolf there. But this is definitely going in the front because this is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And yeah, man, that's our first unboxing on Fig Life.
Now, is that towel like real fabric right there, or
Yep, it's definitely
very
towel
nice,
material. And the cool
very
thing about it,
nice?
I didn't pop it out, but they got this neat stand that you can position it on, and they stand up a lot better in. So
Ah,
just a
very
fucking
nice.
great figure, man. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. All right, so there's the finished deal there as far as getting this figure set up on its stand and everything. The cool thing about the Legend series that they included in this was they had a nice cardboard piece here with the name on it
Yeah.
that you could put in front of the stand. I thought that was a nice touch for when you display it.
Mm-hmm.
This particular belt was kind of hard to get on. I don't know if I'm a fan of these after all, but definitely a pretty cool damn figure if I say so myself.
I like the belt look on it. It looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Isn't this your favorite belt of all time?
Yeah, that's just it's it's so iconic in many ways when you go back and look at some of the old stuff that they did. It's just that iconic WWF style that I always loved about it. It was great. That's a hell of a version of Mr. Perfect right there. I love everything about that one. That's a great pick, man. It pained me a little bit to watch the unboxing, but it's okay. You
Oh,
know,
it
it's worth
hurt me
it.
to open it up more than it hurt you, man. I was sitting there
Yeah.
like, I kept telling my wife, I'm like, I don't know if I want to open this one. She's like, it's in bad shape. We'll just find you another. I was like, no, you don't understand. This thing's fucking rare. They don't come
Yeah.
around often.
I,
So when
I
they do,
never
you
see
keep
him
them in the
online
box.
ever. I never see
Yeah.
him online.
Well, he's a great figure. I mean, his popularity has gone up since he passed away. So you're not going to
Yeah.
find much of his stuff, unfortunately.
Yep, that's the truth, man. Good pickup right there. Good unboxing, and he's gonna have a good home, and in the brand new case right behind you, man. He's gonna have a good home over there. So, good, good one for your first unboxing. Well, let's close out the first episode here, and do what we like to do every week, at least once a week. We'll go over what we're looking for. What are you looking for right now? What's on your radar? Something you're gonna be getting ready to pick up?
So currently, right now, I'm looking at for the merch stand corner. There's a 1992 painter's cap of the Ultimate Warrior that came out, and of course, I'm going to be displaying it with a lot of the merchandise that I'm getting that's upcoming here. I'm also looking at a nice lot of Ultimate Warrior figures with a various range of eras of the Ultimate Warrior. From the classic superstars all the way to the Elite series. So there's a mix and match of that. The good thing about it is, you're getting some loose and some in box. And
Mm-hmm.
me and you went halvesies on this, so I'm proud to
Mm-hmm.
say that's our first buy together as our collection is going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting the loose ones there with all the custom dusters and stuff like that. They did a great job on these figures here. And then, of course, you're getting, the rare ring giant version of Ultimate Warrior in that, and then you're getting quite an array of classic superstars there of the Warrior, in all different forms. You got his singlet, his green attire. There's a few that are blue and black. So that's what we're looking at right now is
Mm-hmm.
getting that Warrior lot for sure. Um, Also, one of the figures that I said I'm going to be buying here real soon is I'm going to be getting the ringside exclusive Macho Man in his NWO white and black attire.
A nice
I've
one.
I've found a few loose, and I've found a few in the box, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the trigger and go all out and get the one in the box, man.
Hey, that's awesome, though, man. I'm telling you, this is some good picks right there for everything. I know the Macho Man has been on your radar for a long time out there, and that Warrior collection that we ended up picking up, man. I'm glad you saw that one. That was well worth it, and then some. We got a steal on this one, and it's going to be a really really nice package. I never had seen the WWE Classics, the giant ones, ever, and very interesting. I
Yeah,
never have, yeah. I don't know how many they made for other characters and stuff.
tons,
Really?
tons. They made Benoit, they made Roddy Piper, they made Hogan, they made all of them, man. You'll love the other ones too. I think it's something we should get into, and just for a future reference on this show, when I get, oh, Mr. Perfect fell over. When I get the whole collection in, and I send the half off to you, that's your part. We'll
Hmm.
go ahead and break it down on an episode for everybody so they get to
Yeah.
see what we got.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It could be a really big score of the week type segment there we could do and show everything because that package deal you got, man, has some insane stuff on it and some of the best classic characters that he had where they took from the different parts of his, career and really cool ones in there. And the dusters, man, just everything you got there was just a sweet pickup there. So it's going to be fun, man. I'll tell you, Rich, I'm looking at a lot. I just bought a lot this week actually too, which my wife was going to fucking kill me when she sees all the different things and how much I've spent the last few days. But it's okay. We got some great deals that are coming and some great new things. But I'm a little pissed at myself. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be able to pick this up anytime here soon. Hopefully, I get and win the bid here. But I had been in a bid all week long on this, and I mentioned it on the show before. And I was winning the bid. Somebody scooped up in the last second, but I tried to stay up. It was late at night, and I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, the auction ended, and somebody's got me out for $1 on this one, Richie. They
That's the
beat me up.
worst when you get
Yeah.
sniped, brother.
Actually, I think it might have been 50 cents that they beat me on because they're like 50 cents or $1. It was no more than $1 that they beat it on, all because I fell asleep. I would have won it. I would have held into the end, and I would have won it out.
You
And
know
it
what?
would have.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it would have been a steal at the price I was gonna get it from, like an absolute steal. But I fell asleep, so I didn't get it.
I think it'd be an interesting segment for me and you to do on here sometimes. Missed opportunities. I think people would fucking shit at some of the missed opportunities we've had because you
Yeah.
and I both in the past few weeks have just had some really shitty luck on
Uh-huh.
figures we've been looking at to buy or just merchandise for that matter. I've lost a few signed belts, man. There was a Attitude era Winged Eagle that was just signed by everybody who ever carried it, and I literally lost it for $5. So just shit like that, it just makes you what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. God, I think when the auction ended, when they beat me out, I think for this one that it was $41, I think, and I'll just say the price on it, but it's literally worth easily double that.
Yeah.
Easily. You know, if you get it at the right time, maybe even triple it at certain points because it is one that's not out there a ton. You'll see about 4 or 5 online,
I
roughly.
think you see his 2-pack more than you see the single.
Absolutely, with the one with Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, way more you'll see it. His single 3 to 4, maybe 5 that you'll see online if you went and looked for this one right now.
Which is a
But I'm
good
gonna.
figure in its own right too. I
Oh, it
mean, that was a
is.
great set.
Yeah, it was a great set, and you covered it here in the earlier part of the episode. But it's Giant Gonzalez. It's his WWE Classic figure, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm in another auction right now on another one, so I'm hopefully gonna win this one as long as it doesn't go too crazy high. So right now I'm winning it. I'm gonna do my best to keep a diligent eye on it. I've been wanting it forever. I mentioned it in one of the first episodes. I've been wanting it forever. I'm gonna get it this week, come hell or high water. But I'm gonna buy one this week because I love the figure. I love the character and something I definitely want to pick up. And then I also am going to be getting a couple new ones here. One from a tag team specialist. I'm going to be getting the Rick Steiner classic figure.
Whew.
Looking
That
forward to
was
that.
the best Rick Steiner ever made, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Yeah, it's a beaut, man. It really is nice, and definitely looking forward to getting that. And then I picked up Shawn Michaels figure today. I won it on an auction for a great price too.
Both
And
classic superstars, right?
yep, both
Yep.
classic superstars. This is the one. This is Shawn's outfit with the red and the black in it. It's an awesome like total look. It's a great figure. So
Montreal Screwjob,
yeah,
Sean? Yeah.
yep, Montreal Screwjob Shawn there, the outfit that he wore over there. It's a really great figure, man. It's one of the most flawless looks for Shawn Michaels out there. It's super friggin' cool, man. I'm also looking for, which they can be hard to find sometimes, but there's a few out there. I just got to find the right deal on it for me to want to pick it up. And it is a little bit of a retro series, and it's because I'm friends with him in real life. We've done a show together before, but I'm looking for Dan Severn's also his figure that he had. So it's out there, but it's going for a little pricey measures right now, and I'm definitely
Are you looking for which one are you looking for? Is Jack's Bone Crunching?
yeah, yep.
I actually have one that I'll send to you, bud.
No shit.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll hook you up with that.
Oh,
So
awesome, man.
no
There's
problem there.
very few figures that you'll find with him in there. Well, hey, look at that. I mentioned it and I get, a great deal from the great Fritchie Reardon over there, man. I appreciate it. I just love Dan as a person and been looking for a while. I missed opportunity can also be said because I've missed out on opportunity for his ones too, for picking it up for like $9. And same thing, I missed an opportunity on it before, but
Yeah.
hey, it happens, man. It happens to the best of us. So that's literally just a few things we're looking at because there's way more.
I forgot to mention actually earlier, those of you that saw one of our earlier episodes, I have been getting into the prototypes a lot, and I got the Unmatched Fury Eddie Guerrero, and the prototype, and it's the resin that was the master cast for all the ones that were made,
Hmm.
from Jack Specific there, and what a underrated line that was, the Unmatched Fury. It was less articulated and more of a statue type figure. And I really dug that. So I went ahead and bought the Matt Hardy prototype
Hmm.
resin figure, and I'm awaiting that to come in the mail this week. So when I get that, we'll definitely show it on the show. Just so you guys know, trades are always open. I am looking for mint versions of now Matt Hardy and Eddie Guerrero in the Unmatched Fury. They can be loose or in the box. Message me anytime on Twitter or Facebook. And yeah, man, definitely living the fig life for trades and stuff. So, trades are always open for me too.
Yeah, the funny part about the prototypes is you were going to buy that one, and Eddie, you had to decide before which one. I said, why don't you just buy them both? Because you know you're going to buy it in the next couple weeks anyways. And you just bought the Eddie a few weeks ago, and you're buying this one now. So I was like, you should have just bought it that night. I said, I told you, I said, I don't think you'll make it. I said on the episode, I said, I didn't think you were going to make it a month on there
Yeah.
without the other one. I don't think you made it a month before you picked this up too, because I know how
Nope.
much you wanted it.
Yeah,
So
prototypes are cool, man. I'm really getting interested in those. There's one on there right now of the Tough Talkers Big Show from back in the day, WrestleMania 2000 era Big Show. And the cool thing about that prototype is you're getting the plastic setup that they use to just get the scale of the figure. Then you get the prototype figure that was hand painted, and then you get the actual finished product. So I'm looking at buying that as well. So.
nice, dude. Good
Yeah.
pickups, man. Well, Rich, you got anything before we close out tonight, my friend?
I just want to let everybody know that we appreciate all the support for the show. We've got a
Yep.
great reception. People are loving it. I'm digging it. You're digging it. And we want to keep growing. So if people can help us hit our goal of 500 subscribers, we are doing a giveaway, and it's a figure from my personal collection. It's a signed figure of a current WWE superstar that was a former TNA superstar in the Asylum years. Really helped that promotion out at that time, and he's a former NWA champion. So, the figure is going to be signed and we're going to be giving that away. So help us give that away and get the subscribers up. Tell your friends, family, anybody out there who's interested in the fig life or wrestling merchandise. This is a great show and we're trying to grow it. So give us a hand.
Absolutely, man. Well, make sure you guys go check out Richie too on Twitter. It's at III_Reardon, REARDON. If you want to email Richie, his email is rickybobby112@gmail.com. And if you guys want to reach me, I'm on Twitter at WWR Podcast on there. Also on Instagram, Reality Check Podcast Network. And you can also check out our website, rcpodnetwork.com. It has a link to all the podcasts that we do and the store as we get more things updated over the next coming weeks. You'll see on there. Go check it out. And you're always welcome to email me too. It's wwrpodcast.com at gmail.com. So we really appreciate all you guys' support. To quote the great Tony Schiavone, as I do at the end of every episode, we are fresh out of time, folks, but have no fear. We will be back with many brand new episodes this week of Fig Life. And Richie, man, when they're Fig Life, what are they with us, brother?
For life.